Hello, welcome to the 5th Mando Mondays. We're going to be going over Chapter 13. We were revealed Ahsoka Tano, which I'm very thankful that Dave Filoni put in Ahsoka finally after 5 episodes. And we also got the child's real name, Grogu. Now we don't have to refer to him as the child or Baby Yoda. And I just wanted to give thanks to everyone who is supporting Mando Mondays and everyone who's watching through all the Mando Mondays. But let's get into the 5th Mando Mondays. Okay, so to start it off, I just want to say that I've been on YouTube, I've been seeing Lucasfilms, like people that work for Lucasfilms, directors and producers and stuff. So I'm here that they're saying that they hate Rosario Dawson for playing Ahsoka for some reason. I didn't watch the videos, but I'm just hearing that they're hating on Rosario Dawson. I don't know why. I think she did a pretty good role. I mean, I wish that they could change the costume up, like in Rebels we saw her with that staff and the robe. But I wish they could change that up maybe a little bit. But I mean, that was the episode. But I'm just hearing a bunch of hate for Rosario Dawson. As we also know, the Mandalorian takes place after Rebels, and in Rebels we saw that Ahsoka had long tails or horns or whatever you want to call them. She had long ones, but then in The Mandalorian, which takes place after the original saga and everything, she has short tails that she had during the Clone Wars, which is weird to see, and it's kind of adding to I want to change her costume a little, because that's kind of how short her tails were during the Clone Wars when she was a Padawan or a youngling, or not much of a Padawan. And so I just want them to make that her tails bigger, because it kind of adds a lot to her look and overall.
I'm pretty sure those tails are called Leku. And I don't understand why Rosario Dawson's getting so much hate, because I feel like she really plays that character well. And although they might just get mad at how they planned out Ahsoka in the show in general.
Yeah, as I was saying, her costume, it's kind of they could add a lot more to her costume, as I was saying, but yeah. I also saw, when Mando was searching for Ahsoka, we saw on the tree, we saw an owl, and I'm pretty positive that either is or it relates to the daughter's owl, which you can look back in the Clone Wars, but Ahsoka basically has a connection to the owl because the daughter's life was it was transferred into Ahsoka's life, so then the daughter had an owl, and so the owl now has a connection to Ahsoka, so that could have been the owl that Ahsoka, that Ahsoka's owl that says she has a connection to. So that's just a cool thing to see, that she has an owl with her, and we saw that in Rebels as well, in the final season, so yeah.
So how do you like the name of Baby Yoda as they announced in Chapter 13 of The Mandalorian?
Yep, Grogu, that's an interesting name. It does relate to, it's a good name for a Star Wars character, but I don't want it to be, I don't really like the name, honestly. I don't like Grogu as the child's name, but I mean, it is his name, and it will probably grow on me as the series continues or as Star Wars continues, and it'll probably grow on me, but right now I don't really like it, but it's probably gonna grow on me. Yep. As we saw, also Ahsoka and Goguru now have a connection through. Well, they probably already did, but they have a connection through the Force, which I kind of predicted. Well, they can read thoughts, and I kind of predicted that late, like way before season 2 came out. But I kind of predicted that they would have a connection through the Force and be able to talk to each other, and that the child's name would possibly be announced or revealed. But I didn't predict that the child's name would be revealed. But I was just thinking that it could possibly be true, and then we did get Goguru as the child's name, and yep, Goguru is an interesting name, but I think it's gonna grow on me.
So I have one question for you. Do you think Boba Fett will return to the Mandalorian season, or do you think they're just gonna forget about him?
Okay, obviously, Tamir Morrison made a huge appearance in episode 1 as Boba Fett, and so we all thought that he would appear in episode 2, and then he didn't, and it's like, as we said in other Mando Mondays, the series is like completely turning away from Boba Fett. But what I think is, like, as the final 2 episodes or so, with the final battle with Moff Gideon, I think they'll bring back Boba Fett, and Boba Fett will either be like, it would be a setup, and then Boba Fett's on Moff Gideon's side, or Boba Fett would be on Mando's side and help him fight Moff Gideon. So I think Boba Fett's gonna come back in the final 2 episodes and help Mando fight Moff Gideon. We also saw Ahsoka mention Yoda, because they were talking about Goguru, and she was like, I only know one other being like Goguru, and she says Yoda, a great Jedi Master. And so they were also talking about that Goguru served in the Clone Wars and was a Padawan, and he had many teachers. And so that must mean that Yoda knew about Goguru. Because if you think about it, Yoda and Goguru in the Clone Wars were the only two, or Yaddle as well, but we only saw Yaddle in the Phantom Menace. We didn't see her in the Clone Wars, but so Yoda and Goguru were the only 2 Jedis during the Clone Wars. So that this probably means that Yoda knew about Goguru and possibly trained him as well, and I may make a video on it, but I think Yoda trained Goguru as well a little, although we didn't see him in the Clone Wars TV show. But I think that Yoda trained Goguru a little and then passed him on to another master when the Clone Wars came up, and then, as they were saying, Goguru was taken into hiding after Order 66.
So we also know that Ahsoka does not wish to train Goguru because he is too attached to the Mandalorian, and she kind of says that she's seen a Jedi turn to the dark side because of emotions, and I'm thinking she's referring to Anakin Skywalker.
That's what I was about to say as well, and I'm pretty sure that is what she's talking about, a reference to Anakin Skywalker, because she was his Padawan. Anakin was Ahsoka's master, and so in the final season of the Clone Wars, we saw that Ahsoka felt that Anakin turned to the dark side because of his emotions. So it means that. So I'm pretty positive that she did indeed reference to Anakin, because she doesn't know any other Jedi who actually turned to the dark side, other than me. Maybe Count Dooku, but I don't know if she was alive when Count Dooku turned to the dark side. But I'm pretty sure she's talking about Anakin, because that's the only Jedi that she knew turned to the dark side because of his emotions, and she doesn't want that to happen to Grogu, which is pretty awesome reference to the prequels. And we also saw when she was fighting the magistrate, or the entire episode, she was trying to find or get information out of the Magister who knows where Thrawn is. And I was thinking Ahsoka, she's gonna find Ezra and Thrawn in the Mandalorian season 2, but she's only looking for Thrawn, and she probably thinks since the Magister knows where Thrawn is, Thrawn must be with Ezra, so she's trying to find Ezra, and we may see Sabine Wren show up. I don't know why Sabine Wren didn't show up in this episode, because at the end of Rebels we saw that they were a team and they were working together to find Ezra and Thrawn, or mainly Ezra. So she's trying to find Ezra, so she has to find Thrawn, and the Imperials and the Empire knows where Thrawn is, maybe. So if she can find Thrawn, she can find Ezra, which is pretty awesome. So maybe they're probably going to have like another Star Wars, maybe live action, maybe animation, but another Star Wars show where Ahsoka is looking for Thrawn and Ezra with Sabine Wren as well, because it looks like we're not going to see Ahsoka's story continued in The Mandalorian Season 2, so I'm thinking that they're possibly going to make a show about Ahsoka and Sabine finding Ezra, which is going to be pretty cool.
What we've been mainly talking about is how the Mandalorian season just keeps adding characters, and there's only like three episodes left, and they have like 5 characters who haven't been reintroduced, and I don't think that they'll be able to. So I'm guessing there's gonna be a 3rd season, hopefully.
Yeah, so here's what I'm thinking. So we obviously have 3 more episodes in the season, and so we have Ezra. We still have, as you said, lots of characters to reintroduce, and I think they're only going to reintroduce one more character, and that is going to be a Jedi, because Mando's tasked to bring Grogu to Tython. And so what I'm thinking is he'll bring Grogu to Tython, and then he'll call through the Force. And I think Ezra, I don't know if it'll be Ezra, it may be like Luke Skywalker or any of the other Jedi, maybe Yoda as a Force Ghost, possibly. But I don't know if it's going to be Ezra, because I want Ezra to have his own show with Thrawn and Ahsoka finding them. So I don't think it's going to be Ezra, but it might be Luke Skywalker, because Luke Skywalker is a Jedi Knight now, during The Mandalorian. So it may be Luke Skywalker, it may be really any Jedi that is. It could even be Mace Windu, which would actually be really awesome to see. Like with one, like with his hand cut off, that would be pretty cool to see. So yeah, that's my prediction for the next episode, is that Grogu will go to Tython in the Jedi Temple and then call through the Force, and we'll meet some sort of Jedi. Do you have anything else that you...
I feel like the big battle with Moff Gideon is gonna take place on Tython, because as we know, Mando's ship is being tracked by Moff Gideon, and
oh yeah, that's true, I forgot about that.
They're probably gonna meet up on Tython and have this gigantic battle, and maybe we'll get to see that Jedi, whoever may it be, also fight.
Yeah, the Jedi might help Mando fight with Moff Gideon. So here's a huge prediction that I'm just gonna spit out for the rest of season 2. So we're gonna see Mando and Grogu obviously go to Tython and meet a Jedi. I'm thinking Luke Skywalker. So let's just say Luke Skywalker. They meet Luke Skywalker there, and then Luke Skywalker trains them, and it's gonna be like a huge like reaction from like fans and everyone watching. and then it will end with Moff Gideon or someone, like one of the Imperial officers, telling Moff Gideon that Mando has arrived at Tython and is training the child, is holding the child there, and so that will be the cliffhanger. And then the last 2 episodes are going to be Moff Gideon traveling to Tython, and then Boba Fett is going to meet up there because I'm just gonna say Boba Fett has been trying to track down Mando for the entire season because he wants his armor back, obviously. So Boba Fett will meet up with Mando on Tython, and then we'll have Luke Skywalker, and then we'll also have Moff Gideon, all the Imperial officers, maybe Thrawn, and then we also might have Ahsoka, probably not though, because they kind of like kicked her out of the rest of the season. But like Luke Skywalker, Mando, Boba Fett, Grogu, and then versus Moff Gideon and Imperial officers. So that's gonna be pretty cool to see. That's gonna be my prediction for the rest of the season 2. And I would really like to see that if they actually do that as a big, huge fight against all those people. And it may end the series. I'm thinking it may end the series, and then we're gonna have another series where Ahsoka is trying to find Ezra, and then Mando might help and make an appearance in that series.
Well, I don't think Thrawn's gonna be introduced into season 2 because he's such a big role, and I feel like they wouldn't add such a big character to this kind of show.
In the Mandalorian season 2?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I didn't add him into the fight. I just added Moff Gideon and Imperial officers with the Darksaber, and then they get the Darksaber from Moff Gideon. Oh, and we may even have Bo-Katan too. We may have Bo-Katan in the final fight. Yeah, because if you think about it, the final fight is most likely going to be Moff Gideon versus Mando and whatever his team is going to be. And then we also have Bo-Katan, who's also searching for Moff Gideon and the Darksaber. So we may even have Bo-Katan team up with Mando and fight Moff Gideon. But yeah, Thrawn is most likely not going to appear, and he's probably going to be, as I've been talking about, in the spin-off, the Ahsoka series, or Ezra and Thrawn series, where Ahsoka tries to find Ezra and Thrawn. And I want to see it written and created by Dave Filoni, because Dave Filoni, he's like an awesome writer, and he wrote episode 5, and I want to see him create this Ezra and Thrawn series after The Mandalorian. But yeah, is that all you have for chapter 13?
I think that is all I've got.
Okay, nice. Stay tuned for the rest of the Mando Mondays, and if we get these predictions right, or if we get a final fight scene with Bo-Katan, Mando, Boba Fett, all those characters I've named, that would be absolutely awesome. And I thank you to everyone who's been watching Mando Mondays, supporting the channel and Mando Mondays, and subscribe and stay tuned for more Star Wars lore content. And make sure also to subscribe to Marvel Theory, whose link will be in the description below.